How's it going, everybody? This is my power rack that I made. Kind of did a combination of a lot of things that you'll find between like Instructables online, YouTube online, just various things that I kind of pieced together from all over the place and made something that worked for my space, worked for my body size and type, and built it. I also built the bench that you see there. The bench idea is from, I think, originally Instructables, but I watched a YouTube video from Woodworking for Mere Mortals. He does a great job of kind of walking you through it, very slow, and explain, and it's pretty cool because you can actually, it's adjustable. So you have all these different indentations that you make in the bench, so you can do whatever you want with it, super easily adjustable. Just move it, and it's everything. One difference between mine and his that I did is I did not want any kind of movement on my bench, so I put in these Simpson Strong Tie 90-degree pieces there, give it a little bit of extra strength. I also used some Simpson Strong Ties back there that you can see that I bent at 90 degrees, put it everywhere. I just wanted a little bit extra strength. And then another difference from this that you'll see with a lot of people online is I bought one little thing of vinyl. It was $9.99 on Amazon, and I bought some padding, and I actually made my bench padded. The thought of doing, incline bench, flat bench, shoulder presses, anything in this, just sitting on wood seemed like it was going to be awful. So that's what I did. I recommend watching the video or reading the Instructables on this. Again, you can find the link to the Instructables in the Woodworking for Mere Mortals YouTube page. So check that out if you want to know how to make this. Another difference that I did from the plans there is I used these Simpson Strong Ties, and then I just repositioned my hole accordingly so that the hole in this Simpson Strong Tie, I could bend this Simpson Strong Tie around the wood so that I actually had more metal support, since all the weight of whatever I was going to be doing on any sort of incline was going to kind of be pushing this bar at various angles through the wood. So I added that, a little bit of strength, a little bit of something for this to pull against and not over time completely degrade the wood. So that's something that I added there. Now for the squat rack, power rack, mainly it is 4x4s. I did some tweaking and adding things as I've gone through, so I'll kind of walk you through that. Basically start out with your two 4x4s here, your main posts. I added these two blocks, these two 2x4 blocks, to attach the 36-inch pipe that I used here. And that's just so I can get a little bit wider grip on the pull-up bar and not have to worry about maybe my elbows hitting when I'm trying to do a pull-up. But also that little extra distance kind of makes the distance between the J-cups perfect. So that's why I added that. As far as supporting, so first thing you do is you have these 4x4s. You're going to connect them via this 36-inch pipe that you got there. Whether you want to do pull-ups or not, it's just a good cross support. That way you don't have two freestanding things. So you got that good cross support going across the top. So you're going to connect those. And then after those are connected, next step is going to be, I used 18-inch, 1-inch thick black pipe, again, flange on each side, and connected it to each of these. So the way I did this to make sure that these were good and level is, first thing, I put the 2x4 support up against the wall here. Made sure I drilled into studs, had a good solid support, because the width of the squat rack is not going to line up with studs. And if you're going to be safe, you definitely want this thing actually anchored to studs. So had the 2x4 first go into the studs in the wall. Then I connected those 18-inch by 1-inch black pipe. One thing to note about the black pipe though is, yes, it's 18 inches, but what you want to make sure you do is the distance, the length of it, once you attach the flanges, is not going to be 18 inches exactly. So I think mine was 18 1/4, but what you want to do is make sure that first off, both of them are the same length. So screw in, unscrew as need be to get them both tight and the same length. And then these bottom 2x4s that connect to the wall down here, they have to be the same. Those need to be the exact same length as the pipes up there. So I use pipes up there just because, you know, the weight and the way that gravity works. If the weight of the bar is up here on the squat, it's going to want to kind of tip forward. So I just wanted something a little bit stronger up top there. So that's why I used it. So anyways, first attach those pipes to the wall, then I put a level on it, and then I just kind of picked up the whole rack assembly that I made. So the 4x4s were connected via the pipe on the top, and then I kind of leaned that whole thing up and put a level on the, one at a time, put a level on the side 18-inch pipe and just connected it to it. And then when you connect the bottom 2x4s, you want to put a level on the 4x4 post as you do it, because they'll be connected at the top, but then you'll still have play both left and right. So you're gonna want to make sure that it's level in all directions and then attach it. Way I attached it is I used 2x4 joist hangers. Just seemed easier. You can do pocket holes, which is what I did on this side, because that just seemed easier for the angle and everything I had to do, good connection. But you can use joist hangers on both sides. So there's the joist hangers there. Joist hangers, connect them. Again, these 2x4s on the bottom are the same length as the 1-inch pipe. So at this point, you'll have your rack connected to the wall, and everything after this is just kind of optional depending on what you have. One thing, if you wanted to use real J-cups, I made my own, I'll walk you through that right now, but if you wanted to use real steel manufactured J-cups, one thing you can do, depending on what type of wood is available in your area and how much weight you feel like you're putting up, you can cut these 4x4s down to 3x3s, and they make J-cups that fit 3x3s, so you could use a pre-manufactured Rogue or Titan or whoever J-cup and put it on there and not have to make your own J-cups. I made my own J-cups because I wanted to keep the 4x4. This is pine. Pine's not really known for being the strongest wood, so that's what I have. So in order to make the J-cups, what I did is I connected two 2x4s. I believe this piece I cut to be 7 inches, and this one I believe I cut to be 9 inches. Did a little angle right here, and then again I used those Simpson strong ties right here for a little bit of extra support. The strong tie has a very smooth metal piece in there, and one additional step I think I'm going to give a try. We'll see. I'm going to do some research, but I think I'm going to get some of that spray, that rubber spray that you can do, and put that in there so it's not just metal on metal. But again, I just kind of felt like that would be a good thing to have. Make sure that these two 2x4s aren't going to disconnect. Then on the pass-through, I used a 1-inch bolt. The bolt is 8 inches long, so it's a 1-inch hole, just like all the holes are all the way up. So the bolt goes through the J-cup. And then I bought some not very good nuts. They don't screw in past the end of it. This says that they are purposely misshapen so you can torque down on them, and I didn't read that when I purchased them. So I just created a little wood washer. This provides no weight support or anything. It's just a spacer. So that's what I did to make sure that the J-cups stay tight. And yeah, that's how I did it. So J-cups, just two 2x4s glued and screwed together, Simpson strong tie to there, and then just kind of shape it and place it how you feel. You'll notice that my spacing for my holes seems sporadic, but I'm going to be the only one using this along with my wife. So we went through, and the top hole is my squat area. The next one is hers, and then my bench, her bench. So I did what I needed. There's some instructables and YouTube videos out there that show you the standard hole spacing, just like a commercial gym you would see, but every hole that you put in the wood is going to weaken it. So, if you're using this one and the hole's too close, any weight kind of rotating up is going to put pressure over here. And it just makes sense to me to make as few penetrations as possible. So that's big picture how I did mine. Another thing I did is I added weight support here. Right now they're just kind of undergoing some testing, seeing how they hold up. But basically, kind of the same thing as the bottom support. I used a 4x4 this time, connected it to the wall with a joist hanger and pocket holes because it's going to have rotational torque on it from the weight of the weight. And then I used, again, those 90 degrees Simpson shrunk ties. I use that on top and bottom. And the reason I did that, I tried to do it on just one side. I was going to put it just on the bottom, but it turns out when you put the weight on it, again, it starts to rotate the entire piece of wood. So having that on the top and bottom turned out to be really useful. And the joist hanger also helps to prevent rotation on that side, along with the pocket holes on the top. So that's what I did, and it seems to be working really well. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to try and provide links to the Instructables, the woodworking for mere mortals, and a couple other the links where I got the ideas from. If you have any questions, just throw it in the comments and let me know.